Today we are doing the ceremony to remember the young King Emmett Till. All right. A lot of people don't know the story of young Emmett Till. He was 14 years old, and I'm gonna give you a little background first. His mother came to Chicago when she was 2. Okay, they moved to Chicago. They're from the South. Now, his mother did very well in school. She got great grades. She married a man in the Army. They had young Emmett Till. That's her only son. Okay? Emmett Till was her only child. Now, a lot of people don't know his full story. But Emmett Till, to describe him, she said he was very playful, an energetic young man. He really liked to play jokes. They described him as he'd lift up his shirt and make his belly roll and do little stuff like that. Stuff that you would normally see a teenager doing. Okay? He was a happy, fun-loving child. They also said that he told his mother, just go to work, make the money. I'll take care of the house. Okay? That's going to irritate me. But they said just take care of the house. And he cooked, he cleaned, he did the laundry, he did all this type of thing while his mother worked. Okay? It came a point in time when his great uncle came to visit from Mississippi. So he wanted to go back and visit, and he had family and stuff there, so he was going to go there. Now, Till's mother expressed to him the dangers of Mississippi. She says, it's not like Chicago. You can't sit around and just walk with your head up in dignity. You have to, if you see a white woman, you put your head down. You get off the sidewalk. You do not make eye contact with her. You do not look at her. Okay? Now, she said she did have to exaggerate a little bit because she wanted him to really fear what was going on because she knew he was a playful child. And he was respectful. He was a responsible child, but he was 14. He had just turned 14. He had a birthday in July, and he had just turned 14. All right? So she told him this, and she decided to let him go. Now, when he was getting ready to get on the train, he was excited. So he told his mom, she's like, where's my kiss at? I may not see you again. Now, he looked at her and almost scolded his mother and said, why would you say that? And he gave her that kiss. He gave her his watch. She got to put the watch on. And she said, what about the ring? He had a ring that his father, that she gave him that was left from his father. His father died in the Army, okay? And the only thing that the mother got back was that ring with his initials. So she said, what about the ring? And he said, I'm going to show this off to the fellas. Right. So he hurries up. He gets on the train. How you doing, brother? They're on their way to Mississippi. He gets there. They do, his great uncle was a sharecropper, so they do a little cotton picking. They swim in the lake. They chase the snakes away and stuff like that. They have a little bit of fun. Now, to let you know about Money, Mississippi, it's really small, okay? It's almost not even a county or a little city or anything like that. It's like 5 or 6 stores on a straight street, okay? That's what Money, Mississippi is. That's all it is a straight strip with a couple stores on it, all right? So when they were done having their fun and a hard day's work, they went to this local store just to get some, beverages and maybe a little candy for the kids, stuff like that. So while he was at this store, he decided to just get 2 cents of bubble gum. All right? 2 cents of bubble gum. This store always, I guess, sold goods to the sharecroppers and to the black people. Kind of sounds familiar, right? We have stores that aren't owned by us. They always sell to us, but they don't treat us right when we come in, for the most part. You know? So these things are familiar. Even when Till's mother told him about the dangers of going to Mississippi, right? And a lot of people will say, I'm going to go off track for a second. A lot of people will say, don't tell your children about racism. Don't tell your children about racism. You're teaching them to be racist. But I don't agree with that. Because if you watch boxing or MMA or anything like that, the punch that knocks you out is the one you can't see coming. So if you have your child, they have to know what's out there. You're not teaching them to be racist. You're teaching them to be aware. The children have to be aware what's going to happen to them and what's going on. So anyway, they go to the store. He gets his bubble gum. And this is what was said. They said when Till walked out the store, they said he may have a whistle. And Caroline was her name. She was a white woman that owned the store with her husband, Roy. So they say he whistled at this lady. There are a few people outside playing checkers, enjoying the breeze. He jumps in the car with his cousin, and they pull off and they say, don't tell my great uncle. He begs him not to tell my great uncle, you know, that we pull it off and whatever happened, okay? Now, this was on a Wednesday. Nothing happened. Thursday, nothing happened. Friday, they just forgot about it because nothing happened. But Sunday came, and there was a knock on Till's uncle's door. This is about 2 in the morning. The door opens, a pistol is brandished, and they have a flashlight. They come in the house. They say which one was the one that did the talking. So they're looking at Till, they kind of have an idea who he is. They asked the uncle, how old are you? I believe he said he was 64 years old. They said, if you want to meet 65, stand back and you better not say nothing. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people ask, why did the uncle let him, let them take him? You got to realize, this is 1955. It's a different time period, okay? You had people that could legally do things. Right before Till went to Mississippi, 2 men were hung, or hanged, I think is the correct. 2 men were hanged in the middle of the town because they helped some people register to vote. Okay? So this is the type of place we were dealing with. And I know a lot of people think, oh, this is long ago, 1955. Just ask when your grandmama was born. It's not that long ago. Okay? You have to remember, this is a 14-year-old young man, a teenager. He's only 14. That's him. Okay? Now, they abduct this 14-year-old boy from the home. They take him to a cabin, or a tool shed it was called. They had a tool shed by Roy's house. Roy, like I said, is the store owner. And his wife's name was Caroline. And they take him to this tool shed. Now, there's witnesses that said they heard someone screaming in pain. They heard somebody's getting beat. And the witness said, I know somebody's getting beat. I hear it. But J.W. was, I think he was the brother-in-law, some relation to Roy. But anyway, he was 230 pounds, a 230-pound man. So you have J.W. and you have Roy. That's who abducted Till from that house. Okay? Now, he comes out with his pistol and he says, did you hear anything? And that black man said, no, I ain't heard a thing. Now, like I said, you have to remember, 1955, a different time. This isn't that time. And we do have to remember, we need to stand up for one another. Okay? This ain't the time to, not turn people in. We want our kids to have a future. So when you see something going wrong with our children, by all means, black, white, red, green, turn them in. Because we have to be accountable for our children, even if they're not our children, So anyway, he said he didn't hear nothing. They said, and this is due to a report, they said they were beating him in the face with a 45. That's a gun for those that don't know. They were beating him in the face repeatedly in his tool shed. The uncle before had asked, can't you just whoop him? He's from Chicago. He don't know no better. A lot of people say, when you go to the Midwest or go up north, the NAACP get a hold of them, and they need to mind their business, and they consider them sassy niggas. That's what they call them, little sassy niggas. They're a little too smart. They say they need to mind their business. They like the way things go down in the South. They like for everybody to keep quiet and keep your head down. That's why I always teach my children, walk with your head up completely. Never put it down, ever. Don't ever put your head down. But anyway, so with this said, they're at this tool shed, and it's time to take them to the next place, which is the river. They take them to the riverbed, right? But when they did this, they made him carry a 75-pound cotton gin fan, okay? So they made him carry this fan. They had barbed wire on the fan that was wrapped around his neck, okay? This is a 14-year-old boy. This is a 230-pound man plus another man, okay? So they wrapped barbed wire around this young king's neck with a fan motor attached to it. They take him to this riverbed, and then they shoot him. They shoot him in the side of the head, right? The men that did it laughed. They said they could see right through his head, see sunshine on the other side. Okay? It's a 14-year-old. Once again, I want to remind you. And today is the day he died or was murdered. Okay? So, they shoot him in the head. They continuously beat him. Okay? And then they toss him in the river. There's even a report that's saying they gouged his eye out. Okay? They gouged. They did, right, brother? Yeah, they gouged the young king's eye out and did all these gruesome things to him with no recourse. All right? They just didn't care. They put him in the river. And that was it. Okay? Now, his mother is the most courageous woman because she did the unthinkable. Okay? Now, before we get to that, let's get to that. She wanted the casket to be sent once they did find young Till's body. They wanted the casket to be sent back to Chicago. Now, the police department in Mississippi said they told the funeral arranger or whatever, they told him not to open this casket. Promise, keep that casket nailed shut. Do not open it. So when Till's mom gets there, she says, I want to see my baby. I want to see my son. They say, we can't open this casket. She said, I ain't make no promises to nobody. You got a hammer? Because I'll open it. She wanted to see her baby. Okay? So, she opens up this casket, and she said she was scared to look at her son. She needed to prepare herself. So she started at the feet. She said she laid her eyes on the feet and had to work her way up. She stopped at his midsection, and she said, well, his body's intact. Then she had to work her way up to his neck. And that's when she said it took a lot of courage. Because next thing she had to do was look at her son's face and what they did to her son. So when she looked at her son's face, and I don't want to be too descriptive because I know we got kids over here, but they need to hear it. The school won't teach them this. No. They need to hear it. So she looked at his face. She said his nose was crushed in and looked like it had been hacked numerous times. She said his eye, the one that was left, was hanging close to his cheek. She said she looked at the hole and could see through the other side of his head. And she asked herself, well, did they have to shoot it? She said his tongue was latched outside of his mouth from being strangled from the barbed wire. Okay? This is what we amounted to in 1955 in the South, in Mississippi, and a lot of other places. So, the mortician said, do you want me to fix him up? She said, no. Leave him as is. I want them to see. I want the world to see what they did to my baby. So she ordered it to be an open casket so they could see what was done to her son. Jet Magazine covered it. There was another one. A couple publications. It went all over the U.S. Now, I know Rosa Parks is given credit for starting the civil rights movement. That's what they, of course, tell you in school. And she did. But what they don't tell you is Emmett Till. And the story of Emmett Till is what sparked everything before that. This happened in August. Rosa Parks was in like December. Okay? Now, this sparked more people to step up. The people that testified at that trial, I guess can we call it a trial? I don't think we can even call it a trial. It was all white jury. Okay?
Tribunal.
Yeah. They had 22 seats reserved for the white section. They had 4 seats reserved for the black people. It's a little table in the corner. And when the sheriff walked by, he said, "Morning, niggas." That's what the sheriff said in the courtroom. All right? So, we can't call that no trial. We can't call that no trial. But they said it took under an hour to deliberate and to get the verdict. And they said it only took that long because they wanted to prolong it to make it look good. They said they sat in there, had a couple laughs, drunk some sodas, and then came out and said not guilty. So we say, how can this happen? How can they have a not guilty verdict for this young king? The evidence, 2 people at least stepped up and said, hey, yeah, I heard him screaming. I heard him getting beat. His mom also testified and said, that is my son. His uncle stepped up and testified. And these are courageous things. Because just speaking and thinking wrong will get you killed. Means you are next. If you disagree, if you look wrong or whistle, all that was punishable by death. Right. So his uncle testified and he pointed them out. Yeah, they did it. Yeah, they the ones that came to the house and abducted Emmett Till. So how do we get a not guilty verdict? Let me tell you what their defense attorney said. He said that Emmett Till's mother and the NAACP got together. He said, put their heads together. I want you to really realize and think about that. He said, put your heads together. They put their heads together. Basically insinuating that it took one or more of them to come up with such a brilliant idea. They couldn't have did it by themselves. But anyway, he said they put their heads together, and their story was that they came down to Money, Mississippi, found a random dead body, dug it up, and blamed it on these two men. They said that's not the body until they pulled out. That's somebody else's body. That was their star defense right there, was that it wasn't Till's body. They said, tell the truth, he's back in Chicago at his grandfather's house. That ain't Till's real body. That was their defense. That's where they came up with a not guilty verdict. This is insanity. At least it is, 2019. But that's how things went. And that's how that trial went. So, later on after that, after it's worldwide, everybody knows about it, these men can't be held accountable. They can't be charged with double jeopardy for murder. So they sell the story for $4,000 to a magazine, admitting what they did to this king. Admitting, that's how the whole story is completely out on both sides. That's why it seems like I'm jumping around a lot. But it's because they later on admitted what they did. They had a witness that cleaned blood out the man's car. And there was a shoe in there, and he admitted that's Emmett Till's shoe. And he laughed, he chuckled, he giggled. You see what I'm saying? So there's plenty of witnesses. But anyway, they sold that story for $4,000 about this young man. Okay? No one was ever held accountable for this young man's murder. Later on, Caroline admitted that this man did nothing wrong. That she lied. That he did nothing, no matter what he could have did, would deserve what he got. She said he did not touch her.
And he didn't whistle.
And he didn't whistle.
He made it up.
But yet, there's no justice for this young man. Now, we can fast forward to a lot of other young men and women. Alright? We're here to remember the name Emmett Till. But you have to remember Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin. The list goes on and on. Eric Garner. We got to keep, you can go on forever. But all these people, no justice. And this is in today's time. So, I don't mean to make this a sad and somber moment, because we have to learn from every situation. We want to see our children reach their full potential. Therefore, we have to protect our children. Okay? We have to protect them. We have to do better. And our children, I need even the ones that are here, the young queens that are sitting right there. Even if you know children that aren't doing the right thing or following the right steps, and maybe their parents just don't got it together or something, then we have to think for you got to think for yourself and do what's best for yourself, because you can come up missing and things can happen to you. Okay? We want you to be protected at all times, and we want to be here for you, and we are here for you. But somebody has to watch out. And like I said, we want y'all to reach your full potential. All right? So what I want to do is at least have a quick moment of silence for young Emmett Till. And and I want to release these 14 balloons, because that's the age he made it to. He just made 14. He went to Mississippi about 2 weeks after he turned 14. He was only in the 7th grade. See what I'm saying? That's a 14-year-old boy, 14-year-old young man, 7th grade. And it's really disheartening. So, yeah. So let's have a quick moment of silence for young Emmett Till, if we could. All right. She got me. It's beautiful. All right. So now, brother, could you untie the balloons? We're gonna release these balloons in honor for Emmett Till and his family, who was extremely brave, extremely courageous. Because I want to do it, and this is something I want to do every year. A lot of people don't know the story of Emmett Till. A lot of people just don't. So I would like to tell it. I'd like more and more people to come out and hear it, because a lot of kids can also relate, because like I said, he was just a kid. All right, so these balloons right here, 14 balloons, we're going to release the young Emmett Till. And let's say remember his name, all right? 1, 2, 3.
Remember his name.
Remember his name. Remember his name. Absolutely. I thank everybody for coming. Yes, sir. And if you want to talk to me or talk to anybody out here, we can sit and talk. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to say something to all of us here, but we set ourselves up for the same thing repetitively.
Right.
Because no matter how successful we are, we never consider arming ourselves. We don't have this is what happened to Black Wall Street, 1921.
Absolutely.
They had all the money, but they had no military. And today we don't even discuss supporting a military unit of no kind.
Absolutely.
So if you got something and you can't protect it, now we can't protect our own women and children. They're killing our women and children right on the sidewalk.
Absolutely.
These race soldiers, they call themselves cops. I mean, come on. At some point in time, when are we going to step up to the plate?
Right now, brother. And that's what I'm saying. Like right now, I'm waiting. You can step up with us. Join the party. You know what I'm saying? We're on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, join the party.
Me too. You ain't by yourself.
Yeah, anytime. I'll give you my card. Like I said. I say this every time we out. I give people my card. They say ain't nothing being done. I give them my card, but they don't call me. You gonna call me, brother?
Don't call you. I'm talking to you now.
All right. Give me a call. Matter of fact. Oh, okay. Okay, so you already ready.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, for me,
Yeah.
but when are we going to get ready for each other?
Yeah, absolutely.
We need support to mandate that. Because if you don't, whenever they decide to, they just walk up and take what you got. You can't protect it.
And you also have to realize, like the brother's saying, I see it every day. There's people out there training. Yeah, when I mean training, they training. While we out here partying, barbecuing, enjoying the NFL, chilling, playing cards. While we out there doing all that, worrying about chicken sandwiches and all that kind of stuff, right? While we're doing that, they're out there practicing to get rid of us. They are. Every day. And I'm talking about they training. They got, what Outcast say, they got some things that'll blow out your back. Yeah, they do. Yeah, and they write on Facebook and YouTube with it.
You see these high-rise trucks with all that mud on the side of them?
Yep.
That's what that's about.
And they lock a gun right on top of it.
They're up in the woods, straight.
Oh, they ready.
When
They
marching
ready.
off,
But we out here playing. We playing. We ain't playing. But some of us are playing. And this is the thing. I hear it a lot. I got a job. I can't lose my job. I got kids. I can't, I got too much to look out for. I done heard it all. I'm too busy. Them poor people problems, I ain't got to worry about that. I done heard it all, right? But on Facebook and on all social media, you hear everybody complaining. Well, why we ain't doing this? Why aren't we? It's why aren't you? There are people that are doing it. You just got to join with the people. We got to join together. We got to unite. We can't just keep complaining about stuff. See, we go out here, the original Black Panthers of VA, we out here all the time. We out here doing community cleanups. We out here paying the kids to clean up. We teaching them pride in their community, how to rebuild their community. We got classes with Brother Ishmael and Sister Ruth, teaching them stuff with bankers. We teach them all type of stuff. And, we're going to have different trainings and, stuff for the kids. We got the club. We teach them a lot of stuff, all right? But we need more of the elders to step up. More of the elders must step up. I'm asking, I'm begging, I'm pleading. But like I said, that phone just don't ring. So, we will be bringing in some new people on Saturday. All right? And we want to bring in more. But we need the community. We can't fix a community by ourselves. It's just not enough to fix a community completely just with us and with my other members. We just can't do it. We need the whole community. I know everybody has a thing about the no snitching. That's something that's really big in our community. Don't snitch. And I blame a lot of this music for teaching them the wrong way. There's no such thing as snitching. But it's not what they're telling me it is. Alright? And to explain it so that you can explain to everybody else, snitching is when we are a part of a way of life and we are in a life of crime. I don't gotta know you or nothing like that, but I tell on you to get my stuff lowered or something like that. If you are a civilian, you don't count. It's fair play. You see that man kill somebody, kill your people, whatever the case, right? Tell on him. Get him off the street. Keep the kids safe. You get it? Yeah, that's not snitching. You are you're preserving your children and your community. That's the difference. Now, if you run around gangbanging doing all that, you probably shouldn't be telling because you are in that life. But if you're not, which most aren't, get these folks off the street.